And we're live. So, welcome back, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
I'm Dana from Big Data Consulting.
And I'm Bridget from Shift One Degree. It's so interesting how this has become our new normal. I just did a call now. We're doing it. So say yes, we're now doing matchups. So I did a matchup between a mentor and a mentee, and it's quite interesting how I get so excited. You know, both. Like I was excited, and the mentor was excited, the mentee was excited. We're like, ooh, it's quite amazing how you just adapt yourself into this new norm. And then with that, it's the small things, like technology is actually mind blowing. And then before that, I had an interview with a client of mine in Germany who is wanting to help me grow my business globally. So she's like, well, you've been my coach for a long time. Let me see if I can get you some international clients. So it's quite mind blowing. I haven't actually left my chair, but so much has happened. So yeah, sorry, I just wanted to share that this morning. What's
And
up?
I feel the same as you, and that's why I'm always saying opportunities are everywhere, and it's just up to us to create them. Because I'm Israeli that lives in South Africa, but only now because of the corona, I'm actually starting to get more business opportunities even there. And because of the corona, and like everyone is online, it's making it so easy.
Yeah.
And look at us. We're doing live from two different sides of Cape Town, and it's still happening. And bottom line, it's like how you take this situation that's going to stay here for a few months at least. How are we make a new routine out of it, especially now when we're going to come out of lockdown, kind of coming out. No one really knows what it means still, stage 4. And it's all going to be a key learning. I think that's why we decided that we're going to stick now with the same topic of the commitment. Because it's a great time to commit to things. It's a great time to commit to new journey in life. You've done the reflection up until now. Well, hopefully you've done it. So what are you going to commit to? So do you want to start with one?
So the first one is persistence. And I think persistence is quite interesting because it actually came up in the interview that I had this morning. And she was like, well, like, so, and it just, like, how do you know when you've reached that point and you know that you're there? And I was like, I don't think you ever do. I think you're continuously growing, going. And it's just like this ongoing thing. So it's like continuously being persistent on what is the bigger picture and then just going with that. Persistence is key, because there's so many little hills on the way, Yeah. So persistence is
but that's what's going to hold you. When you start a business, if you're not going to be persistent, if you're not going to keep on pushing, you're not going to show determination. Like, you cannot last it because the amount of time you will want to give up when every crisis is going to come and happen.
Yeah.
And it's in everything in life. So persistence is due. But again, like for everyone watching us, feel free to share with us what do you commit to. If you agree with what we're saying or not, so feel free to share. And the second point is actually create an action plan. And this is very important because I always say planning is the key for success. We must plan. And I see it with a lot of businesses that they don't plan and then they just do the spaghetti on the wall, whatever sticks, whatever falls. And it doesn't work like this. So if you want to commit to something, make a plan, something you can follow, something that you will use as a guideline for you to follow and go step by step and see, okay, can I get like this? Can I get there? Can I use this? And also remember that like planning is like when you have a plan, it's like a GPS kind of stuff. Okay, put your destination. You know where you want to reach to. But on the way, you're gonna have maybe a roadblock. You're gonna maybe have like a car accident and you need to stand. So you can decide with yourself, am I gonna stand and wait here? Or am I gonna try to find a detour? And that's the same. That's why you need to have a plan, some action plan that you can follow and guide you.
Yeah, and I think that kind of just touch up from what are we today? Sorry, I get so confused Monday, Tuesday, because I know we're doing Fridays as well. But that kind of ties in what we were saying on Friday around like one small thing. So if you know what the big plan is and you're doing one small thing every single day towards that big action and the big plan, I think that's great. The third one is managing your time. And I think it's so relevant now because if I think about myself, I go to bed at 9, I get up at say like 5. it's a fair long day, you know, it really is. But you could actually waste so much time thinking about what to do, as opposed to, I mean, I love structure. I always talk about that, but I really do. So I structure my day very structured. So, you know, every hour I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So I know how my day is going to go. So I know that I can maximize my time. I don't want to just waste time because I've got a lot more of it. I want to make sure I maximize it. So managing your time is important. Just because you have a lot of it, don't waste it.
Yeah, just put activities every day that you want to commit to, something that you can take you further in your journey. I got different actions that I need to do. Like, I'm committing every day to do a yoga class because that's what I need for my soul. So I do it. And like every one of us like needs to find their own thing that they can commit to from that part on to manage the time. And everyone manages the time. So like you say that you need to plan and know. I'm more like a go with the flow kind of style. I used to be like you.
Yeah.
And then, since my mom was sick and I lost my mom, I've changed it. You know, I became like more go with the flow, and that's it. So share with us, are you going with the flow, or you actually need to have a structured plan for the day? So share with us. If I look at the fourth point of us, is that to commit to knowing who you are. And that's the most important thing. Like, and I talk a lot about branding and how to build your own, to create your own brand. And that's part of it. The moment you know who you are, you know what story to tell. And that's the most important thing. That's how you're going to build yourself as a brand. And it doesn't matter if you have a business or you don't have a business. But that's very important. Like, we all have a story in our life that we can share and inspire others. So do it, use it, you know. Get it? Like, know yourself, know who you are.
Yeah, and I think that kind of ties in what we were talking about earlier. You know, sometimes you actually need to just spend some time with yourself, which is one thing that you can very much do over this time. But I think it's spending time on your own. You really get to know yourself. You get to you shut out all the noise, and you get to know like what kind of works, what doesn't work, and the more you know yourself, the more you know what you're comfortable with, what works for you, and then what doesn't, you know. So knowing yourself is really, really important. Yeah.
And I think it actually goes together with the other, because the moment you know yourself, you know what you want to commit to on how to manage your time. You know what's going to get you to be more persistent, and it's going to help you to build an action plan that's right for you. So don't try to build something that it's not realistic for you. Build something that you can actually manage it. You can use something that it's a bit of a challenge, but not over challenge, because you don't want to, you know, get frustrated in between and create a gap that is going to be tough for you, and then you will want to give up.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Should we summarize them?
Yes.
Okay, so the first one is persistence.
Yes, and create an action plan.
And good time management.
Yes, and to commit to knowing yourself. And just please tell us, to which one of what we mentioned now do you feel more a connection to? You feel that more talk to you? Is it one, persistence? Is it two, create an action plan? Is it manage your time? Or is it to commit to knowing who you are? So just feel free to write down here and let us know. And it is, and it's very important, because we want to commit. We want to commit for things that's what's going to help us grow. And that's why we still continue with this topic of the commitment.
Yeah, because we're going to be back on Friday. I know Friday's a public holiday, and it's interesting because we had a Say Yes meeting on Monday, which I know is a public holiday. And Andrew, who you know, who's operation manager, who organized the meeting, he actually didn't know it was a public holiday. And my response was, I don't actually care if it's a public holiday, because I don't know, maybe that's a bit sad, but it doesn't fundamentally make a difference in my life if it's a public holiday or not, because it's kind of all the same. So for me, it doesn't matter. So we are going to be back on Friday, on the 1st, which is a public holiday. For those of you who, you know, close your laptops on public holidays and have family time, awesome. For those of you that don't, well, we'd love to connect with you. So we'll be back on Friday.
Topics that you're interested in, that you want us to do tips about, It doesn't matter which topic, just feel free to share with us if you have questions. And for those of you who joined again, we spoke now about commitment. And yes, this is a great time. And with someone right here, knowing yourself allows you to know what you want and need and what you need to do. And that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Knowing yourself is the key, actually, for I think like for everyone who want to start a business. And it's something that I always share, like in my branding workshop and webinars, that's part of, by knowing that, you know what you can promise with your brand. So that's very important.
Yeah. I think also just in line with that is that you then aren't going with I'm not really a kind of go with the flow kind of person, which I suppose, you know, it's kind of good to be the flow. That's why you and I get on so well, because you go with the flow and I don't go with the flow. But I think for me, by not going with the flow and knowing who I am, I know what works for me and I know what doesn't. So I'm not going to be influenced in a way to try and go in a direction which I know fundamentally doesn't resonate with me at all, you know? So you need a bit of leeway, but it is important to know yourself, to know what resonates and what doesn't.
But that's what helps us, because you know you and I know myself. And that's why it's easier for us to communicate, because I know that, because you know that you need the structure and I'm going to go with the flow. So it works well and we understand each other. That's why we're doing it for almost a year now.
Oh, nice.
I'm thinking about what we meant, you see.
I know. What a journey. So anyway, we won't go down memory lane on this one, but we will be back on Friday. So for those of you that want to engage, we will be back on Friday, and have an awesome week, everybody.
Yes. And feel free to share with us again, whatever you feel like. We're going to read it after as well.
Yeah.
Bye.